How would your life change if you were able to win with the people that were in your life? That you were able to cultivate better relationships with those in your life? That you were able to be more intentional with adding value, with being valued, and with being able to have better relationships? How much more would your life change? Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about practical ways that you guys can start winning with people, that you guys can actually move forward to cultivate, to actually start winning with those people who give you a tough time. Now, before anything, there are two facts that I know about relationships. Two facts that I know about relationships. One, you need people in your life to feel a sense of fulfillment. If you go back to your childhood, you can probably think of your friends and you can probably think of your closest relationships, whether it be mother, father, grandparents, brothers, sisters, friends. You felt great in those moments. And oftentimes we can feel like if we're not intentional with having friends and everything, we can feel quite lonely, quite depressed, quite sad. And so it's not always good to just be alone. If you want to be fulfilled, you have to have people in your life. And the second thing that I know that is true about relationships is that people can be difficult. Peopling can be difficult. In fact, there's this one person that I know that's always telling me, like, man, you're so great with people. But I'm over here struggling. I feel like I'm struggling. But I do know that if you can increase your relationships and if you can be more intentional with with cultivating better relationships, then I do know that you guys can start being more fulfilled. You can start being more satisfied, whether at work or at home. And you guys can start enjoying yourselves more and just enjoying winning at life. And so I want to share with you guys a couple different practical ways for you guys to be able to be intentional in starting to win with people. This is going to be a process. It's not something that you just automatically come into. And some of these habits you're going to have to develop. Some of these habits you're going to have to be more intentional with growing. And some of them you probably do already. So, hey, if you do all of we'll have timestamps below so you'll be able to see which parts that you could go through. But with that being said, let's get into the first one. If you want to win with people, seek curiosity, not judgment. I remember when I was doing my coaching training, learning how to coach individuals, one of the biggest things that they talked about was seeking curiosity rather than judging people. I mean, think about it for a second. How easy is it to just sit back, look at somebody else and be like, why would you do that? Like, there's so many instances that you can think of where you instantly want to judge somebody. You look at their life and like, why would you be with that person? Or why would you make that decision? And it's so easy. Oftentimes it's so easy to find ourselves judging people. But instead of being judgmental, we have to replace that with curiosity. Something I wrote in my notes here is that we have to be curious about the world around us. It's very easy to look at somebody and say, that person is crazy. But instead of being judgmental, seek to be curious. How do you do that? All it is a mindset shift. When you start feeling yourself being judgmental, when you start feeling yourself wanting to judge other people for what they're doing, ask yourself the question, why am I being judgmental? And then change your mindset from, why would you do that? To, I wonder why they did that. Same question, different mindset. Judgment seeks to punish somebody, but curiosity seeks to understand. So if you're going to be winning with people, seek to understand people. Seek curiosity, not judgment. Number 2, be intentional with listening, not just hearing. Oftentimes we can go out through our own lives and just hear people. We can hear them out. But are we truly listening to what they have to say? In fact, one of the best gifts that you can give anybody is the gift of attention. having your full attention. In fact, I want you to remember, go back to the last conversation that you had. Let me ask you, did you feel understood? Did you feel like that person gave you their full attention? Did they make you feel like you mattered to them? Oftentimes we can go into situations or into conversations not realizing that, well, I'm making them feel like they don't matter. I'm not giving them my fullest attention. And one of the best gifts that you can give somebody is your full attention. So put away the distractions, as many of the distractions as you can, be fully intent, and listen with all of your senses. Not just with your ears, but with your eyes. What are they doing? Listen to their body language. What do you see? Be intentional with listening to them. In fact, I have a quick listen quiz that you guys can take. It's just a series of 8 different questions that can help you be more intentional with listening. Question number 1. Do I allow the speaker to finish without interrupting? Question number 2. Do I listen for subtext, what they're trying to say? Question number 3. Do I try to retain important facts? Question number 4. Do I repeat back the information for clarity? Question number 5. Do I write down key facts and phrases? Question number 6. Do I avoid getting hostile for disagreeing? Question number 7. Do I tune out distractions, or am I the distraction? And question number 8. Do I make interesting what the other person says to me? Being a good listener isn't about just hearing them out, but it's about intentionally making what they're saying the best thing that you've ever heard at any given point in time. So be intentional with listening, not just hearing. If you want to win with people, listen well. Number 3, I would say give a simple compliment. Tell them what you like about them. In fact, one of my go-tos always is to look at an article of clothing and say, hey, I really like that jacket. I really like those pants. I really like them shoes. How much do you want for them? I got $2.50. If you know me, you've probably heard me. In fact, if you're friends with me, you've probably heard me say that to multiple different people. Because it works. It works. A simple compliment with people. Complimenting their eyes, complimenting their smile. Genuine compliments to people win people over 9 times out of 10. And they'll start changing their attitude towards you at any given point in time. So, if you want to win with people, give compliments. The next one may be uncomfortable for most people, but it's just a smile. Smile. Something a mentor has always taught me is the fact that smiling is not for myself. A smile doesn't benefit me, but it's for other people. If you don't see yourself as not that good looking, be intentional with smiling. In fact, even if you do think that you're good looking, smile. Smiles aren't for you, they're for other people. In fact, they make you approachable. Smiles definitely make you approachable. As a practical tip, a practice that I do is anytime that I'm going to Walmart or I'm going to a grocery store or whatever it may be, I am always intentional with smiling. Every time I go into a Walmart, I smile. I smile as big and as bright as I can for the whole time I'm in a Walmart or in a Kroger or wherever it may be. I mean, I want you to think about the last time you visited a Walmart or a Kroger, last time you went out in public. I want you to count or think about how many people that you saw smiling. Whether it was the workers, whether it was the customers, how many people did you see smiling? I know for myself, I couldn't count that many. I could probably count all of the people on my 2 hands, maybe 1 hand. Smiling sets you apart. Out of the many people that you see, out of the many people that see you, if you smile, it makes you a lot more approachable. The last thing that I want to encourage you guys is that when you're trying to win with people, when you're trying to build relationships with people, when you're trying to win people over and influence them, avoid talking about yourself. Be intentional about them. In fact, if you want to talk about something, talk about them. Talk about what they truly value, which more often than not is themselves. It's all about being curious. It's all about being intentional. And it's all about loving and valuing people, loving what they have to say, being very, very intentional with it, and then smiling, giving them your best. But if you want to win with people, be intentional with valuing them. I think that would be the biggest point out of all of these. All of these summed up: value people, love people. Because I promise you, the moment you start loving them, the moment you'll start doing all of these things. But hey, thank you guys so much. I am so glad that you guys have just watched this quick little video. If you want to learn more about anything that I do on this channel, feel free to subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like. Let me know what you want to learn, and check out the other videos that I have posted either here or on my main channel. But hey, my name is Milton. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until we meet again, stay safe, love people well, and God bless.